Why is Frank Warren determined to hold back Joseph Parker from a title fight against Oleksandr Usyk? Is it only because Daniel Dubois holds the IBF heavyweight championship of the world and Frank Warren wants him to fight Oleksandr Usyk so Daniel Dubois can unify the titles, become undisputed? Or is it because Daniel Dubois is more popular than Joseph Parker, makes more money, sells more pay-per-views? Is it all the above? Today in this video, we're going to answer some of these questions. And you know what I mean? I've come with some evidence, some receipts, so you can make your own mind up at home. Do you know what I mean? Listen, I'm like a solicitor. I just present the evidence. It's up to you at home. You are the jurors. You know what I mean? You make your own minds up. I'm on nobody's side. I'm just on the side of the truth. Do you know what I mean? Listen, this is the conspiracy part 2. If you're a regular viewer on my channel, you know that I dropped the conspiracy, the first video, like 2 weeks ago. And that was very popular. I got like 4.5K views on that. A lot of people engaged, dropping comments, and people still asking questions. So I thought, you know what, I'll come back today and just answer a few of those questions. Maybe 2 of them. Do you know what I mean? So that we can move forward. This is part 2. Now, if part 2 does better than part 1, I might come back with part 3 because I kind of like this. Do you know what I mean? I like if people are engaged with it and the channel is growing, listen, I want to bring you more content like this. You know what I mean? So go ahead, smash the like buttons, subscribe. Do you know what I mean? Drop your comments. Let me know that you appreciate the work, the content that I'm bringing to you. That way it motivates me to bring you more content, more great content. Do you know what I mean? Because then I know I've got your attention. Do you know what I mean? You're engaged and that, you know what I mean? And that satisfies me. Do you know what I mean? So I can bring you more content. Let's get into this. Now, who's the more popular fighter out of Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker? How do we measure popularity in this day and age? So in 2025, how do we measure popularity? The answer is social media, right? Social media, pay-per-view buys, stadium, ticket sales, whatever. That's how we measure popularity. Now, out of Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker, who has the most social media following? Yeah. So I just went to both of the fighters' account, Instagram straight away. Now, Daniel Dubois has a total of 395K followers on Instagram. So in terms of popularity, yeah, when we're looking at in terms of social media presence, who is present, who drops content, who's always there with the people? Listen, the evidence is clear, mate. Joseph Parker. So when people talk about, who's more popular, Daniel Dubois is more popular than Joseph Parker. No, he's not. No, he's not. Social media is the currency of today, man. And the receipts are there. Joseph Parker is more popular than Daniel Dubois when it comes to this social media shit. Do you know what I mean? Because that's how we measure these guys, the popularity and by the followings on the socials. Joseph Parker wins that. Now, the big one, the one that I was almost shocked by. Not even shocked, but I was like, whoa, I was taken back by it. Who has sold the most pay-per-views out of Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker? Now, people are going to say, yo, Joseph Parker is a bit older than Dubois. It started a bit early. Dubois has just come on. No. But listen, Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker have both been involved in big fights, world title fights, big ones, against the biggest dancing partner of all of them, Anthony Joshua. Joseph Parker has been in there with Anthony Joshua. Daniel Dubois has been in there with Anthony Joshua. Joseph Parker fought against Anthony Joshua at the Principality Stadium in Cardiff in front of 74,500 people. Yeah. Daniel Dubois, as we all know, he fought against Anthony Joshua at Wembley Stadium back in October 2024 in front of 86,500 people. Now, out of the two, who do you think sold the most pay-per-views? Who do you think sold the most pay-per-views? I can tell you now, Joseph Parker against Anthony Joshua sold more pay-per-views than Daniel Dubois against Anthony Joshua. But if you listen to all the noise, the way some people run their gob, you think like Daniel Dubois, the Dynamite, like blew up the pay-per-view numbers. In fact, it was a stinker. Anthony Joshua against Daniel Dubois in front of a home crowd. The biggest stadium in the UK, I believe, right? Wembley. In front of a home crowd, two British giants clashed. Stinker. Joseph Parker against Anthony Joshua back in 2028, March 2028. Sorry, not March 2028, March 2018. Apologies, March 2018. Joseph Parker versus Anthony Joshua, almost 7 years ago at the Principality Stadium. They did a total of 1.8 million pay-per-view buys. Joseph Parker, the guy from New Zealand with a population of 5 million, who everyone says is not popular at all. He hasn't got a following or anything like that. He's not marketable. For Anthony Joshua at the Principality Stadium, and they've sold 1.8 pay-per-view. 1.8 pay-per-view buys. That's how much they sold. That's 7 years ago. Guess what though? That's not just for that moment. Anthony Joshua versus Joseph Parker, their pay-per-view sales is the biggest in British pay-per-view history when it comes to boxing. Anthony Joshua, Joseph Parker pay-per-view sales is the biggest in British boxing history. Daniel Dubois is not even in the top 5. Anthony Joshua, he's a superstar for real. Because I think he's got about 7 fights in the top 10. Number 2, we go Anthony Joshua versus Vladimir Klitschko, 1.6 million. Number 3, Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz 2. I believe this was in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, 1.5 million. David Haye versus Tony Bellew, 1.5 million. Anthony Joshua versus Oleksandr Povetkin, 1.2 million. Oleksandr Povetkin versus Anthony Joshua sold more than Daniel Dubois versus Anthony Joshua. But don't forget, Joseph Parker. He holds the record for the most pay-per-view buys in UK history. This is a fighter from New Zealand with a population of 5 million. And don't forget, Joseph Parker has been fighting on the road most of his career. For the big fights, the title fights, most of them has been on the road, especially on British soil. And most recently in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And he's outsold all these British guys. Joseph Parker has outsold Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk, and them two fought for undisputed. They fought for an undisputed title, and Joseph Parker is part of the history, is part of a fight that has outsold Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk, and they fought for an undisputed fight. But this is the same guy people say he's not popular, he doesn't sell. Okay, if Joseph Parker is not popular, hasn't sold, how come the other dancing partners for AJ haven't done the numbers that Joseph Parker did with AJ? I'll let you answer that in the comments. Do you know what I mean? So when people say Joseph Parker, he doesn't sell, oh, he doesn't sell pay-per-views, oh, he's not popular. Listen, Joseph Parker is not marketed in the way that he should be by his British promoter. He's not pushed in your face. They make it seem like the guy is not active. He's not about that life. Joseph Parker is really about that life. He's just not given the same opportunities that British fighters are given. Because if he did, he would be the second biggest pay-per-view star after Anthony Joshua. He'll be the biggest pay-per-view star after Anthony Joshua. He'll outsell Tyson Fury. The numbers are there, the receipts are there. Listen, I'm going to leave the links in the description. You can go check out for yourself, but you can find these numbers. Go online and find it. Do you know what I mean? So why is Frank Warren holding back Joseph Parker when Joseph Parker is the biggest currently in his stable in Queensbury Promotions? Joseph Parker is the biggest pay-per-view star. But if you look at the whole promotion, they don't make it that way, do they? They don't make it seem that way. They make it look like Joseph Parker is a nobody. But really and truly, he sold more than Fury and he sold more than Daniel Dubois. So why is Joseph Parker not the golden goose in Queensbury Promotions? Frank Warren has to come out one day and answer that. Can someone send him this, please? Someone take this video now, click this, send it to Frank Warren. Let him answer that. Now, people are saying that Frank Warren wants Daniel Dubois to fight for the title, to fight against Oleksandr Usyk for undisputed. Do you know what I mean? Because Daniel Dubois has the IBF title. Do you know what I mean? Like Parker can see out. You know what I mean? Because, you know, they want that rematch with Usyk. But if you can remember, yeah, go back a few years ago when Anthony Joshua lost against Oleksandr Usyk and Anthony Joshua was pursuing the rematch. He wanted to fight the rematch against Oleksandr Usyk. Frank Warren came out and said, no, Joshua, Usyk's already beat you. He beat you convincingly. He whooped your ass. You battered and bruised all over the ring. Take some step aside money. Remember, they were going to offer, you know, Anthony Joshua like 10 million. Step aside money. Let Tyson Fury handle Oleksandr Usyk. Tyson Fury beat him, and then Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua can go at it. Remember, that's what Frank Warren said. Because Usyk already beat Anthony Joshua convincingly, Anthony Joshua should sit it out and let Tyson Fury handle it. So how come Uncle Frank is not keeping the same energy when it comes to Daniel Dubois and Oleksandr Usyk, the rematch? Oleksandr Usyk whooped Daniel Dubois convincingly. Beat the shit out of him. Come on. Outclassed him. Daniel Dubois took the knee. He quit. It wasn't even like he fought until the last bell and he was swinging. No. My guy quit. But this is the same Frank Warren that wants Daniel Dubois to go back straight in there with Oleksandr Usyk for a rematch. But then he was willing to pay Anthony Joshua step aside money so Fury can fight Usyk. So why can't Frank Warren, Uncle Frank, do the same thing with Daniel Dubois? Tell Daniel Dubois, you know what? Usyk beat you convincingly. Sit this one out. I've got a fighter in my stable in Joseph Parker who's on a great run. He's never fought Usyk before. He'll present a new type of threat to Usyk. Let Parker go handle Usyk. If Parker wins that, he fights Daniel Dubois. And you know what? It's a win-win. It's a win-win for Frank Warren, because if Parker goes out there, smashes Usyk, beats Usyk, it won't be easy. Usyk is elite. Listen, Usyk is one of the greatest of all time. But let's say Parker goes in there, beats Usyk, takes his belt. Guess who's the biggest promoter in the world? Frank Warren, because he's going to have Dubois with the IBF, Parker with all the belts, biggest fights in Wembley ever for undisputed. But I don't know why Frank Warren is not thinking like that. I don't know what the obsession is with Dubois Usyk. Do you know what I mean? Frank Warren has to be very careful. Has to move very strategic. He's got a dilemma here. If he puts Dubois back in there with Usyk, Dubois gets whooped. Usyk is undisputed. For the second time, Frank Warren will be responsible. He'll go down in history for having two of his fighters crown Oleksandr Usyk undisputed. He'll be under Frank Warren's watch. Usyk beat Fury for undisputed, and if he beats Dubois, he'll become 2 times undisputed. That's under Frank Warren's watch. Both of them are Frank Warren's fighters. How is Frank Warren going to feel after that? Something to think of. Food for thought, mate. Don't make that same mistake, Frank Warren. Listen, I'm going to leave you at that, man. I've presented to you the evidence, the numbers and everything. You make your own mind up at home. You make your own mind up. You know what I mean? Let me know in the comments, man. Let me know what you think. I want to know your thoughts. Write down in the comments. Smash the like button. Smash the subscribes. Smash it. Do you know what I mean? If this video can beat Conspiracy Part 1, I'll come out with Conspiracy Part 3. I still got more to say, but this video has to do better than Conspiracy Part 1, which done 4.5k views. If this does 6k views, I'll come back with Part 3. So if you want it, share the video with your family and friends and everybody else who's willing to listen. I'm going to leave you at that, man. Thank you so much for watching EMGM Sports. I'm your boy Enzo. Like I said, please smash the like button and don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll be back real soon with another one. Until then, stay blessed. Peace.